Hello everybody, I am here to talk to you about butterfly knives. Ooh, yes, this is my small pair. Now first I want to get into the legality of it. Basically, I don't know where y'all live, where you're watching this, but here where I am, these things are illegal. Now, they're not illegal to have in my house. They're not illegal for me to buy in a store. A store, it's not illegal for them to sell them as long as they have a license. But if you get caught outside with one of these things, you will get it taken away. And if you have any priors with assault with a deadly weapon, you could be taken in, spend the night, and be talking to a judge in the morning. Hopefully you'll talk to a judge right away and you don't have to spend the night. But they will take it away from you. But I am allowed to have them in my house, you know, for show, to play with, on my own, whatever. So basically, I'm just gonna run through the basics. Now, a lot of people, like, I could show you like a lot of stuff where, you know, I'm flipping it around, you know, you can barely see this stuff, right? I mean, you can't, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slow it down, but I'm first gonna tell you the basics. If you do want to get into using this knife, I can save you a lot of pain and suffering to your hands and people around you, because when you get these things going, it's gonna hurt. And for the most part, like these ones right here, they're a smaller pair than the ones that I started out with, and when they hit me and they hit my knuckles like that, it really hurt, right? But now I know a way that it doesn't hurt so much, and basically I kind of move with it when it goes to hit me. Like, I move with it so that it takes away some of that force. Now if you look really closely, you'll see that there's two black handles. Okay, 2 handles to every one of these knives. Now, there is also a dull side, and then there's the sharp side, right? The sharp side. Now, if you notice the sharp side, there's this little thing down here, this little squiggly thing. It's a lock. A lot of them have locks on them, and some of them don't come with locks, but most of them do. And you'll notice that the lock is always on the blade side, the sharp side, okay? So naturally, when you're practicing, and pretty much at all points in time, unless you know what you're doing, you're going to want to always be holding the handle that's on the blade side, so the one without the lock on it, okay? So when I go like this, when I go like that, that's the dull side, right? See? So that's the dull side on top, and then it hits, and it's hitting in between my 2 knuckles there, and when you're going fast, that's gonna hurt. So, but when I do that, I kind of move that way so it doesn't hurt me so much, right? So I can do it like really fast. And in fact, when you go like this really fast, it doesn't really hit at all. Like, I didn't even feel a thing there. When I first was starting, I was so rigid that right when it hit, it really hurt, right? And then not only that, but then I'd go and I'd switch to the bladed handle, and then I'd hit, and that's the blade hitting me now, and it would cut my finger. If I did that any faster, it would leave a cut on my finger, okay, or across a couple of my fingers. So you want to be very, very careful with these things, okay? Now, basically, I'll show you how the mechanics of this work. Okay, so I'm holding on to, of course, like 9 times out of 10, I'll hold on to the dull side. Okay, so I'll just show you how you open and close it very easily. Okay, so basically if you have this and you just turn it, now it's open. If you just go back, same thing, same handle, turn it, it flips closed. Now, moving your fingers like that isn't very effective because now you're kind of, you know, it's not as fluid as you want it. So what we do is we do circles, right? So this is how I do it. This is how I'll open it and I'll close it. So again, I'm holding the dull side and I just go like that and it's open. And then I do the same thing. The dull side's still that way. It's still the one that I hold, and then I just, whoops, turn and close. I did an extra thing there. Here, that's open, that's closed. So instead of using my fingers and actually moving it so it opens, right, and moving it so it closes, I kind of use the momentum of my wrist, and when I hold down like this, it's really easy. It's a lot easier to twist and turn it. And it kind of does it on its own when you use the momentum. Now, so I'll show you a reason why you might want to use the other side. Okay, so there's certain moves where I'll open it up, or wait, yeah, and then I'll fling it around, turn it. Now I'm on the sharp side, right? I'm holding the sharp side, right? I'll close it, I'll open it back up, I'll take this finger, so my index finger's in the middle, I'll take my middle finger, and now I'll close it like this. Now I'm holding on to the dull side, right? So there's different moves you can do like that. Now, by far, my favorite move is just throwing it up in the air and catching it. Now, I'll save you a lot. This is some good advice here. Whenever practicing, sometimes these things are metal, your hands get slippery, you know, especially if you've been practicing for a bit. These things drop. When they drop, jump back immediately. Just jump back, okay? I've never been hit in the foot with one of these things, but I have come close several times, okay? Like more than several times. You know, and if it wasn't for me jumping back, like I've actually seen these things, and they go down, they hit the floor, and then they flop like this. So if my foot was there, it would go right in my foot, and then it would just flop, and, you know, it would hurt, okay? So, but my favorite move, so I'm just holding the side with the, I'm holding the side with the lock on it. So like I'm opening it up, I just hold the bottom side, see, top, bottom. And then I just flip it in the air, but just do a little flip, and it's just going to open itself up, and hopefully I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to either grab it, it's going to do a half rotation, and when I grab it, it's going to be, the knife's going to be out, and if it does a full rotation, I'm going to grab it, and it's going to be back in. So let's see what happens. See, I grabbed it, the blade is out. Okay, let's do that again. Did you see that? The blade is out. Okay, now let's see what would happen if I've tried it like this before, and it's a little bit more chaotic, and it doesn't always work as well. But when I hold the top side and do it, let's see what happens. See how it's closed? Did you see that? So it seems like when you hold the bottom part and you do that flip, it's a lot more successful. You're going to grab it when it's open. And when you turn it around and you do the flip, it's a lot more, you have a higher chance of it will be closed when you grab it. See, that time I would have grabbed it, would have been open. Okay. So, I don't know, these things are really deadly, and I mean, it's one thing when you start to play around with them and you're just like moving them around with one hand, stuff like this, right? I mean, you can do all sorts of, you know, things, and you can hurt yourself a lot with these things. Like I said, when I first started, man, my first 2 years with these things out in the country, I mean, it was really, it took a number on my hands. It really did. I mean, I'd go to school and I'd have like bruises and cuts and stuff like that. But when you get over the fear of throwing them and catching them, look how I caught that. You see that? Okay. Now, I didn't cut myself because when I go to grab, I grab gentle and I kind of just let it kind of go where it wants to go until, and I go down with it. When I grab it, I kind of go down with it. Just like when I flip it over, I kind of go with it. Okay, so that it lessens the impact on my hand. Just like when I grab it, if it does, sometimes I do. Sometimes I flip it and it kind of stabs me a little bit, right? And look at that, it locked itself. But sometimes I do, and I grab it, and it hits my hand, and it pierces it a little bit, you know. But the difference between it cutting me and me needing stitches and making a little tiny mark is because when I throw them in the air and I grab them, I come down with it. And I'm watching it at all times. I'm watching where those handles are. I'm not watching where the blade is. I'm watching where the handles are. Okay? So don't let that flashy blade, get your attention. Because that's not what you should be looking at. Okay? What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, one extra thing. If you are practicing and you want to get good at these things, the best thing that you could possibly do is get a pair that's smaller, approximately this size. So this would be probably about, I'd say this is about a 4 or 5 inch blade, 4 or 5 inch blade, 4 inch. Okay. This is a smaller one. This is a perfect size to start out with. You get a big one, you're gonna hurt yourself. Okay. Just get a small one. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take this and I want you to like put it on stone or something and just doll it up. Doll it right up, okay? So that you know it won't cut you, okay? So the only part you have to actually be worried about when you're messing around with them and you're playing with them is the point, okay? These ones right here, for instance, these are my practice ones. These ones are dull, okay? If you can see, it doesn't cut me. No blood. Nothing. But if I, that would hurt. So that's why I said jump back, you know. But that's my butterfly knife video explanation. I know there's a lot of videos about this and people are showing off all their really cool, neat tricks that they have, and I just felt like making a video that explains not only the legality of everything, the law, but also how to effectively start to use the butterfly knives and practice with them. Okay? Because, and let me tell you, this is not a weapon you want to use on somebody. You have to know what you're doing, or else you can hurt yourself really bad. And a wise man told me that